Do you fancy a blind date on a tandem bike? Wicklow Sports Partnership is setting people up on cycling blind dates with free pizza afterwards in Wicklow Town. It's all part of Bike Week, running nationwide from May 10th to 18th, and there'll be loads of free bike events happening all week long. Get involved, meet someone new, and even find love on two wheels. Find out how to enter on my TikTok or Instagram, The Dating Orange.
Hello, Cod A on Scale. Thank you for being here. Today's episode is a chat with TikTokers Kasey, Campion and Murtagh, who are currently in the trenches at the Mo trying to find a decent fella. After that, we're checking in on a blind date that I set up, who were actually two of my pals that I know from totally different places, Sheila and Con. TikTokers Kasey, Campion and Murtagh, two gas gals in their early 20s, getting a lot of attention on TikTok. God love them, they have an awful track record with fellas. From weirdos to cheaters, they have had it all. So we have the dynamic duo here, Murtagh and Kasey Campion. You might know them from TikTok because they're fucking flying it. You may give us kind of a background on your dating lives. 2 years single.
Thank God.
Thank God. I want to keep it that way for forever, if possible.
Laura, I met the two girls. Where were we? At a Coco Brown event. It was actually like this time last year. It was like last week or something.
Ago. It was.
At the time, Kasey, you were single.
Yes.
And Lauren, I think you had a boyfriend.
I did.
Is that gone down the shitter now, is it?
Is that gone down the shitter? That's been gone a long time now, actually, now that I think of it. And backstory on my dating life first. I've always been a big relationship person. So I got into a relationship when I was really, really young. And I was with him for years. So I never knew anything else. Then I started seeing another fella after that. Then that went down the shitter. Then another fella. He cheated on me. And then the last fella was the last fella that I was telling you about. And then that went down the shitter. So now I am not a relationship person, and I plan on keeping it that way for forever, if possible.
And what are you doing? Are you dating? Are you on the apps or anything? Or are you like, no, fuck this?
I'm only on Tinder and Hinge. Deleted the two of them there the other day, and then I re-downloaded them the weekend because I was going up to Armagh. There's so much talent up there. Oh my God, class. I need to get someone from up the country. But no. Like I really like both apps. I don't go on many dates. There's one date I went on with a fella from Hinge, and it was the best date of my life. And after that, Kasey, you know the story.
All of her exes are absolute freaks of nature. Well, like to be fair now, I don't have much to say on the first one, but the second one needs to seek help in some kind of way, right? That's all I'll say there.
I agree.
The third one, who was the third one? Oh, the cheater. Yeah, that just
McCheerson.
Yeah. And then the fourth one, oh my God almighty tonight. The day she told me she got with this fella, like, oh, we're together, it was like the worst day of my life. I felt like she told me somebody died. I was like, you're actually joking me. Like, seriously, I couldn't even be supportive of this. I tried to be. I warned her the whole way through that this fella was a weirdo. Yeah, I was delighted when it ended, now I have to say. But
have you been friends since you were small?
No, actually. Everyone thinks this. The funny thing is, we don't actually remember how we became friends. Like, we've no idea.
Like, what age? How were you around for so many boyfriends? You know 4 boyfriends?
Yeah, well, she works quick, this one.
Yeah, I don't.
Swear to God.
In fairness, like me and Kasey, we were this is what I assume happened, was we were probably added into a group chat or something with each other in maybe first year or second year. So we were online friends for years. We don't even see each other maybe once at a concert every 2 years.
Or disco or something, yeah.
Something like that. And then it was only when I started driving, I think, we kind of became...
Yeah, but we would send each other videos like every day. So we knew every detail of each other's lives. We just never actually met up until like literally only this time last year. It was June last year. I had a spare ticket to Bingo Loco and I was like, oh, do you want to come? Didn't think she'd come, and then she came, and then
I wasn't going to go.
So when I met
like,
you only act like in real life friends for a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kasey, give us a little background on you.
Right, well, mine's not as juicy as Lauren. So I went on my first date. I actually remember the date because I'm mentally unwell. It was the 25th of August 2019, right? And I just ended up with him for 3 years then. So like I didn't have much experience with dating. And we just went on a walk. It was nice. I was obviously really young. I was 18. But yeah, ended up with him for 3 years. Obviously, we all know at this point, got cheated on. That was great crack, so it was.
For anybody who doesn't know, Kasey has a big, massive, multi-part story that went very viral. Everyone was loving it. Were you giving a shout out? Graham and Nathan had you on.
Told it anywhere that would hear me at this point. But yeah, that happened 2 years ago. But I still, like, to be honest, like, I still want revenge, that way. So I was like, right, I'm putting up this story 2 years later because it's still getting at me. And I was like, oh, maybe it'll give me closure if I put up this story. So yeah, I put up the story. Obviously, did very well.
Can you give us a little? Can you do a brief synopsis, like a 1 or 2 paragraph synopsis of what happened there?
Yeah, because some people do say to me, look, I heard you have a 40-minute story. Can you give it to me in 2 sentences? So yeah, long story short, with this fella 3 years, absolutely hated cheating, went on about it all the time, how disgusting it was, how he'd like be more likely to kill somebody than cheat on me. I was like, right, this is physically impossible for this fella, like, and we'd always joke about it, like, but it would never ever be reality. But my mom had always said, you can't trust anyone 100%. Like, the only person you can trust is yourself. You can't control other people's actions. But I was like, no, he's never going to do it. So yeah, he went out one night. He was always going out without me, but I didn't think anything of that because obviously I trusted him, and it was, for what I thought, a healthy relationship at the time anyway. I went to school with just text me out of nowhere. It's really weird. I haven't heard from him in about 3 years. And he was just like, oh, is your boyfriend out in town tonight by any chance? Like, as in Dublin. And I was like, oh yeah, he is. Like, did you bump into him or were you chatting to him? He's like, look, really sorry to have to tell you this, but next thing, 4 videos get sent to me of him with some young one in Flannery's, like, just, he was with her. It was bright in the first video, then it was dark in the rest of the videos, which meant he was with her for a couple of hours. Like,
what were we talking about? Hands around each other, face to face.
Yeah, she'd had her arm around him, he'd his arm around her. They'd be whispering to each other. Now, in fairness, I don't even say in fairness, she kept going in to kiss him and he kept pulling back. But at that stage, you not just get up like and be like, oh, I actually have a girlfriend at home. Like, is that not an indicator there? So eventually she broke him and he kissed her in the end. But he was texting me throughout this whole thing, being like, yeah, I'm in Dublin watching the match with the lads.
What the fuck? He's shifting some yoke down in Flannery's. What the fuck?
Yoke is one word.
Yoke is a good word.
But she knew.
Yoke is a really nice word for her.
He knew her. Was it? It turned out that he found out.
To this day, I haven't a clue who that girl is. No idea who she is. But I have a feeling she knew.
Start putting up posters about it or something.
Yeah, because there's someone out there that knows who it was. Because, like, she saw the video on TikTok. Like, if you saw yourself in Flannery's getting with some fella, you'd know if it was you, like,
Sorry, on that now, did he see it on TikTok?
I would imagine so. I'm not 100%
He didn't get in touch?
Sure. No. To be honest, putting it up, I wasn't sure what his reaction would be because we've been in no contact for 2 years. So I was like, will he show up at my house? Will he send the guards? I don't know. Will there be a solicitor knocking at the door? But no, never heard a word. Now, I've heard kind of through the grapevine that he's not too happy about it, but sure, like, who would be?
Well, fuck him. He fucking did it. Do the crime, do the time.
Exactly. That's what I always say.
You got cheated as well, the two of you.
When I got cheated on, I was only seeing this fella for like a few months, but I genuinely, and I say this, I was in love with him. I don't think, like, the fella that I was with for 3 years, I didn't feel as much in love with him as I was with this fella for a few months. Like, yeah. But sure, he was just totally he was totally fake. He was just portraying this fucking character, I suppose you could say. I got a call one morning. I had been with him the day before, and he went off to play a match, and then he was going to work that night. I came home, I done a gig. I remember he rang me that night, and I was like, oh, where are you? Because it sounded really echoey. And he was like, oh, I'm in my room. I was like, he's not in his room. But I didn't really think much of it. Like, it was just like...
just lying through his teeth like they're animals.
Literally, yeah, all crazy. Then the next morning, I got a call from a friend who lives in the same area as him. And she was like, look, I got a text from someone. They don't want to say who they are, but just ring. I'm actually going to even say his first name because I just don't care. His name is James. Jamesy, baby.
Oh, yeah, James.
Shout out to James. Ring James and ask him how a certain girl is. So I ring him. I go, how's whoever? And he goes, I don't know who that is. I go, James, don't lie to me now. Come on now. And he was like, yeah, I cheated on you. And what?
Oh my God.
Every time it gets me. It gets me.
I literally just go, right, so if that's the case, get down to my house, bring all my stuff, like, right now, like, this instant, because he's from up the country, like. So he came down anyways, and
And
I
you
just
live,
go,
sorry, you're where?
thank you.
Kildare, is it?
I'm Meath.
Meath, okay.
Yeah, Meath. So he's like way up, you know. So came down anyways, and I just go, thank you. And he goes, for what? And I go, for like making me be free. Basically, I was like, you let me free of this relationship. Now I can go and do what I want to do and be who I want to be. And fuck you. I got a text from the girl the next day being like, I'm so sorry. Please don't hate me. I didn't even know her.
How did she find out about you?
I don't know. I'd love to know, because she said she claimed she had no idea, but sure, there's like there's photos of me up in his room, and like he had me up on his social media, and
Sorry, was it sex?
Oh God, yeah, baby.
it was
Oh, it wasn't even.
A week later, I go into a coffee shop. Who's working behind the till? Only your one.
Was she more to
I
it?
didn't
She
even-
died when she saw you.
Oh yeah, she went like hiding. And then she deleted the message. She deleted the message to me. I don't even think it was a week later. It was probably only a few days later. She deleted the message to me, and then a few months later, the two of them were actually not even a few months later, maybe like a month or two later, the two of them were on holidays in Ibiza together.
Oh my God, what a fucking snake. Why was she so sorry, my hole?
This is it. But it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. My life done like a 360, and just, it was fucking brilliant. So
180, not 360.
Well, it's done a 360, and then another 180, and then it was great.
Well, do you want to talk about the TikTok she posted
Oh, she just put up the TikTok of him and her like dancing.
in Ibiza? Yeah, but I told Lauren that she should have duetted the TikTok with the message of your one apologising for getting with her fella, and now she's in fucking Ibiza with him. Like, seriously.
That would have been class. That would have been.
In fairness, I kind of like I outed him, because I had said to him, if anyone ever cheated on me, I'd out them on social media. Now, I didn't really do TikTok back then. I probably should have posted it all on TikTok, but I exposed him on my Instagram story. So I just had like I had a video of me and him kissing me or something, and I put it up. I had like on the back, or the music in the back of it was like, before he cheats, and I tagged him like in big across it, so everyone could go in like and have a look at his profile. It was a bit
was
more
brilliant.
It was kind
Like,
of a slay.
it
I
happened to
nearly
you
put it
both
up
of you
now.
really young. You were 21 when you both got cheated on, or around that age. Like, and do you think
Yeah,
because it fucked you? Have you gone a bit cynical, maybe?
totally. I'm a goner. Like, I literally cannot imagine ever having a boyfriend again. Like, I'm single now, what, 2.5 years ish. I went on one date since the rodent. That's a story in itself.
That's a funny
So
story.
tell us about the one day.
Right. So I hate giving men airtime, but like, this is the only dating story I have, so I'm gonna have to tell it, right? So this fella, as I said, working a radio station, we were giving away a car. And this is gonna actually expose who it is. I don't even care. One fella came along anyways, and he won this car, happy days. And he brought his friend with him to the little competition anyways. So they leave, and I get a follow on Instagram off both of them after. So I was like, how do they know my name? But anyway, of course, they'd seen me on TikTok before, so they followed me. Your man, they both texted me, but I was more interested in one of them. So started chatting away to him, and he said we should go for a coffee or something. And I was like, you know what? I haven't been on a date in 2 years. I've met this fella in real life. I know he's not going to kill me. I'll just go. Like, I need to break the ice here. I'll just do it. So he came and collected me. He actually I think he had a broken finger at the time. So like, he was like trying to do the gear stick with this like cast on his hand. It was horrendous. And we went for a walk somewhere. And yeah, just went for a walk. And like, to be honest, like, there was no like sparks flying or anything, but it wasn't like a car crash. So yeah, it was fine. Ended up sitting in the car chatting for hours and hours and hours, but like, it wasn't, I didn't see him as my future husband. Then his sister rings him and is like, where are you? Like, it's literally 1 o'clock in the morning. And I laughed. All I did was laugh. And the girl goes, is that Kasey Campion? And he was like, what? She was like, I follow her on TikTok. And I was like, oh my God. She knew from my laugh. That was me.
Sick.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Maybe he had told her previously that he was going to meet me. I don't know. So yeah, anyways, he drops me home. He was really nice, really respectful, nothing mad, grand. Chatted. Oh, he had a flight to catch the next morning. So he stayed out basically till like 2 in the morning with me, even though he had to get a flight at like 6 a.m. chatted for another week, and I was thinking, right, surely he'll ask me to do something this weekend now as well. But it was the Friday, and he just went ghost for 24 hours, like off the map. Now, I don't know if you consider that ghosting, but like from talking all day every day to like nothing, I was like, this is a bit strange.
I do.
Yeah, like it's a bit weird. Now, you know when you're like not that interested in someone and then they ghost you and it's like, oh, now I've been humbled. I was like, why is he ghosting me? Yeah, he returned then after the 24 hours. I just acted like nothing happened. So I just said, right, that's a goner. Because for me, my only rule is like one red flag and they're gone because I'm just not letting them build up. Like it's not happening. Yeah, he was a goner then. So I thought. A couple of months later, a girl that I'd see at events, she probably doesn't care if I say because I posted on TikTok. Do you know Neve?
No.
Right, she makes TikToks and she said we went to an event together one night and she's like, look, I've something to say to you. Like I've actually been annoyed at you for a couple of months, but I didn't want to say anything. And I was like, oh my God, why? Like what happened? She's like, I heard you were on a date with my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, sorry? And she was like, yeah, you were spotted on a walk with my ex-boyfriend. And then I started making all the links. Basically, this fella had like a skinhead and so does her ex. So someone obviously saw him, thought it was the wrong person, this whole ordeal. I was like, oh my God, no, that was not your ex. That was a completely different person, whatever else. So we thought this was hilarious, posted it on TikTok. And that's how your man got back into my DMs. He was like, oh, saw your story time. Such a shame we don't talk anymore. And I was like, what do you mean such a shame? Like, you're the one that ghosted me. Like, then he was like, look, I was just really scared of a relationship. Like, I was only out of a really long-term one. I was like, hang on, pal. We went on a walk, okay? You don't need to be like, you know. So of course, as I already said, one red flag and I'm gone. The interest was completely gone. I don't even think it was there in the first place. So bear in mind, right, this fella's afraid of relationships. He has now hard launched a relationship on Instagram, highlight with the love heart, new girlfriend, not even a month later.
They're so full of spoofs. They'll fucking say anything, like, just for the attention or to get their ride or whatever, like.
Honest to God, like.
Scared of attention, my whole. I actually never want to hear that ever again. I've heard it so much.
And then having a relationship a month later, a highlight dedicated on Instagram, I'm like, what? Like, I can't.
It's comical. It is laughable, like.
And like with the two of you now being flat out on TikTok and, you know, you get loads of views and everything. So surely you get recognised the whole time out and about. And Lauren, you're singing in like at events and pubs and that and gigs and stuff. So surely there's fellas and stuff there.
I think like the two of us can both say that anytime that we go on a night out, coppers, like it's actually ridiculous. We wouldn't even be thinking, you know, in the grand scheme of things, anyone would know us at all.
Yeah.
And then anytime we go somewhere, it's like.
It's basically like a meet and greet. And we hate saying it because it sounds really whatever. But like if you're in Coppers and we're there, it's literally us chatting to people we don't know for the whole entire night, getting pictures. And we do love it. Like it's great. Like, but it's wild.
It's lovely meeting people. But then like we've also had our fair share of like such
arseholes.
Like arseholes really like coming up and abusing us or like taking videos of us and calling us names and
like fellas,
you know, stuff like that.
Or girls.
Yeah.
Yes. Fellas.
Myself and Kasey have like exposed people before for doing like really like not nice stuff to us.
Yeah.
What is their problem? When I was like looking up all your names or whatever on Google, and then Tattle came up straight away when I put in well, I can't remember now, it was Kasey, I think your name, but like, well, anybody who does that kind of shit, like what the fuck is wrong with them? They're two young girls, like fucking leave them off. Let them do their thing. What are they doing? A few vlogs? What the fuck?
I don't engage with that tattle at all. It's literally the scum of the earth that go on that app to write stuff about people.
Yeah.
I used to look at it all the time. So did Lauren, but I don't think she has one. I have one. And we just look at mine the whole time. But once I hit 100k, I was like, you know what? I'm doing so well now. I think anyway. I don't need to read comments from people who are realistically sitting at home, not happy with themselves, not happy with their lives. If you're happy with your own life, you're not going to comment on anyone else. So I don't need to read that shite.
Like if you have a good life that you're happy with, and like you wouldn't be going then to your phone or laptop, sitting at home in your dark room, like giving out about people and commenting on them with a load of strangers that you don't know, like
weirdos.
Exactly.
Now I have a few extra questions here. We have rapid fire round. You have to say whether it's a left or right swipe for these questions. All right.
I am getting confused now. Which is the good swipe?
Left,
right.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't know.
I'm on. Sorry, I forgot. I'm actually on. I have an account on Tinder and on Hinge, but I can't remember the last time I even touched onto that app, like, because it's just freaks.
There's fellas there swiping away, desperate for a match, and not going to get it because you're not on it.
And then sometimes I get a screenshot being like, I think someone has a fake profile of you. And I'm like, oh no, that actually is me. But like, I don't use it.
I get that as well.
Right, okay. So left swipe is no, right swipe is yes. Swipe left or right on texting back immediately.
Left.
Lauren? Why are you taking so long to think?
It kind of depends. It kind of depends. I'm gonna go with right or no left. I'm gonna go with left.
Oh, okay.
Like I like when people text back, but then also it's like, okay, why are you so desperate?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
busy. Like,
They can't win. Nobody can win with that one. Left or right on going Instagram official within the first month?
oh,
Left.
that's the hardest left I've ever seen in my life.
Bringing up exes on a first date, even lightly touching upon them.
Right, because I'm gonna do it.
Left now.
I'm doing it for sure.
Left or right on sharing your location with your fellow when you go out?
I feel like, see, we're still at that like generation of Snapchat and Snap Maps, and if you have it on anyway, like,
All right.
Yeah.
but having
Yeah.
to send it for other reasons that they're like, you need to send me your location, like that's a bit toxic.
Yeah,
So-
I agree. If it's like forced, then no, that's weird.
Then no.
Like,
But you just have your snap maps on all the time. That is so dangerous. I can't cope with this.
Mine actually
age
aren't
gap
on, but
between
like in
us.
case they were.
yeah, mine are on for like Kasey and my sister and like people, you know, that I want to see like where
To
I
see.
am.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Right,
when I'm
that's
like,
safe enough.
when I'm out in Coppers and there's fellas that I know are going to be out in Coppers, I put my location on for them.
For sure, the maps are on, for sure.
I'm joking.
Tactical. Right. Sliding into someone's DMs with just an emoji.
Left.
Well,
You
I'm
like
gonna
it when
say
it's done
left.
to you, I'd say.
That's how I ended up in a 3-year relationship, so I'm gonna pass.
What was the emoji? Fire emoji, is it?
I sent it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever said that. Yeah, I sent it. It was actually a GIF. Is that
Ah.
worse?
No, better.
It was just like a little dog saying sup, and he was like waving at the camera. Oh my god.
That is so wholesome.
I just
God
put the
bless
ick.
you. Ah.
Yeah, it didn't end up wholesome, let me tell you.
Okay. Swipe left or right on doing a FaceTime or some sort of video before a first date.
Right.
Mm.
Right, I suppose. Yeah,
Going on a first date at their place.
left.
Meeting friends early on.
Right.
Wait, what do you mean meeting friends early on?
Meeting their friends early on in your
Oh, yeah, right.
relationship. And last one, doing a background check on them online before the first date.
Oh, always right.
As in like their dating history and all that crack, or like their criminal records.
Again, like LinkedIn
Everything.
and all. Facebook.
Oh, oh yeah, naturally, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking them
Um,
up. Searching them.
Right, okay, very good. So what would you say is the biggest red flag that you've come across in your short dating life that you've had so far?
Anyone that says, I just don't go on my phone, bullshit. If you want to talk to somebody, you're gonna find the time.
My biggest red flag is this thing. I don't know if you know, like cheating. Like when they
Cheating,
kind of
yeah.
that's kind of that's kind of a red flag for me. Yeah.
Actually, Kasey, you put up something there. I was just thinking about like surely, well, you know, you were saying you get creeps and whatever in coppers and that, but you were on holidays. Where were you? Canaries.
Gran Canaria, yeah, Puerto Rico.
And tell us what happened with those fellas.
Yeah, so
You
I didn't go
removed
into
the
too
video.
much.
You deleted it in the end, did you?
Do you know what? I can still see it and it's still up, but I think TikTok has like shadow banned it or something.
Ah, okay.
Because I sent it to Lauren, I was like, can you see this? I sent her the link to it and she was like, no, it just comes up unavailable. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so basically we were in Gran Canaria and just me and another girl, 2 of us, and we were walking like into like a shopping centre. That's where all the like bars are. And the minute this group of lads saw us, one of them jumps up and comes up straight away, offering us every drug you can imagine. Of course, we were like, absolutely not. Offering us sex. Like, do you really think I'm going to turn around and go, yeah, let's go? Let's like, obviously not. Keep walking. Then they're shouting over, oh, sexy this, sexy body, sexy whatever. So then that's when I started recording, calling them freaks. And then they switched up straight away. Oh, you're so ugly. Like, you smell like fish. Like, all this stuff.
Oh.
Like, the minute you reject them. So that was grand. I obviously posted it on TikTok. And the following night, we saw them again. start shouting over at us, but I didn't even want to hear what they were saying, so we went straight into an Irish bar. And they were kind of just this group of lads that probably hang around those areas trying to
All the
sell
time.
stuff, that kind of thing. And then when I got home from Gran Canaria, I got a text off a girl. I don't know if you've seen this, basically being like, "Oh, like you're looking for attention. You should expect that when you go on holidays. Like if everyone videoed what them lads were doing, there'd be hundreds of videos." And I go, "Yeah, that's the problem. That's literally the problem." And she was like, "So embarrassing for you running into a bar, running away from these men." I'm like, does she realize what she's saying? But upon further
No
inspection, she
problem.
lives
What? I
over
don't
there.
understand that. Girls like that. I think she was she like, oh, I'm going to take this one down a peg because she thinks she's the only one who gets these comments off fellas. Like, what is the logic?
Very bizarre. I think that, so when I investigate a bit more, it turns out she lives over there. So I'd say she could be related to them or friends with them or with one of them. I don't know, but
Oh,
some
Maybe she
feminism
likes
going on there.
buying stuff off them, perhaps.
Maybe. Or maybe she likes
perhaps.
being harassed. I don't know. But she
Yeah,
was like, "Can you not take a
maybe that's it.
compliment and all?" I was like, I wouldn't really consider that a compliment. But
Compliment.
anyway.
Like, no,
Mm.
but girls going on and like letting that happen and saying that's normal, that's what you expect. Well, no, nothing's going to change then if we're all like, oh, well, sure, that's it, that's life. Let's just take it with a smile.
Exactly.
Like, no, thanks.
I've heard to say, like, "Oh, it's so embarrassing you were running away from a group of men." There's so many things wrong with that sentence. Like,
Yeah, I know. But sure,
like
how many? There was a good few of them, like, and you were just
at
too.
least 5.
And they were in their good 30s anyway. They weren't young lads.
Yeah, no. So they were definitely late 20s, early 30s. I'm really bad with age, but they weren't our age anyway.
Fucking creeps, they're animals. 2 more questions. Dream first date. Now, if you were to find a nice fella who wasn't going to cheat on you, what would be a nice first date for you?
Now, where would you find one of them?
Oh, I was going to say a date that I enjoy doing by myself is a date that I actually did on my one ever date that I went with the Hinge fella.
What did you
And
do?
that
What was it?
ended up really bad. So I don't think that would be my dream date anymore. But we just went for like there's this really nice spot in oh gosh, in Trim in Meath and and you can get like coffee and you can go for like a little walk, but we didn't go for a walk because he had hurt his leg or something like that. But we like sat in for a few hours and we just had a lovely, lovely time. And he turned into a freak then after
Oh,
that.
please.
So
We want all the information on all the freaks. This is the best part.
oh,
Yeah, that is
I
the
wish I
best
could
part.
just put in photos of him the whole lot. No, I went on a really, really, really nice first date with this fella. Now, I probably should have seen a red flag when he asked me on the date, like the first day that he matched with me on Hinge.
Mm.
But
Eager.
like, I probably should have talked to, yeah. Anyway, we went on the date. I actually only agreed to the date because I was like really hungover and I only do kind of, I would call that crazy shit going on dates when I'm like hungover. So I went on the date with him. I was rattling like because I was so hungover. But it was a really, really nice day and we were chatting away and we left the date and I was like, Jesus, I actually like I really not fancy him, but I really enjoyed that date. I can't wait to go on another one with him because there was talks of another date. So then we talked for like weeks after that and he was always like, oh yeah, like on our next date. And then it got past a few weeks and I was like, when is this fucker going to ask me on another date? This is a bit like, so he keeps bringing it up, but like he's not bringing me on one or he's not asking me on one, etc. So then I think I brought it up to him like once or twice and he was like, oh, like I just didn't want to be too eager. I didn't want to, and I was like, well, you were fucking eager at the start trying to get me on the date, like asking me literally the day that you matched me, whatever. Grand. Met up with him in Coppers one night, kissed him in Coppers, met up again. We didn't go on dates, so it was just very like the second time, the second time I actually met up with him, apart from meeting him in Coppers. It was just very casual, like just chatting, like it wasn't, we didn't like go for coffee, like it was just, we were in the car. And then just it kind of fizzled out after that. But Kasey, when was it that he sent me really weird messages in between?
Oh, like last week, was it not?
No, like no. That was the weirdest thing. But you remember, it was probably after Coppers or something, or maybe before Coppers, and he was like, "Oh, I really like talking to you.
Yeah, but about
And-
commitment and all.
Yeah, it was really, really weird. But like, he wasn't trying to get rid of me. It was just, started sending me all these like paragraphs and paragraphs of like how he just felt and blah, 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 blah. And then
Oh, he
I
wanted to
just
work
wrote
on
him-
himself, but he still wanted to talk to you. But he knows you won't have time for both and all this crap.
yeah, so I was like, right, do you want to just like stop then? And he was like, no. And I was like, what? But like, what then? And then I just
They
go,
say
yeah,
all this
it's
shit
not
to
that-
manage your expectations so that you'll keep talking to him and maybe one day he'll get it right. That everything is just about right. Like
that was probably it. And I just go to him here, it's not that deep. I literally just sent back text message. I go, it's not that deep. Anyway, that was fine. We kept talking after that, met up obviously in Coppers, met up again, and then the conversation kind of fizzled out. So I ended up leaving him on open. Then a few weeks later, I'm out in Coppers, right? I get a text at 1:15 at night. This big paragraph from this man who I met out of Copper, like not in a nightclub or whatever. Twice. I met him twice saying, oh, I'm not trying to achieve anything here, but like I just don't like the way we left it and I just like to clear my conscience. I think that fella thought I was going to expose him on TikTok for like
100%.
for I don't know what reason, because I literally met him twice. Lad, it's not that deep. We weren't in a relationship. We weren't even dating, because as far as I was concerned, we went on one date. Like, I don't know.
I'm sorry, this message had like paragraph spacing and everything, so he had like done it out on notes.
He wrote it out on notes and sent it to me. Well, I just saved it. I copied it, sent it to Kasey. I go, this fella is not real. And then I just never replied to him.
oh my God, the fear he must have. He's there checking
let
your
him
TikTok
have-
the whole time, waiting for him to pop up on it and all of his messages.
Yeah,
So now
I
he's
think I
on a
will put
podcast.
him up on TikTok at this rate.
Next up is my blind date segment. I put up some videos on TikTok offering my matchmaking services and I got people to fill in a form. And here we are. In this particular instance though, I didn't get these two to fill out a form because I already knew them and I thought that I had a decent idea of what they both would like and what they would respond well to. Con is 38, 5'11" and works in tech. He's from Dublin but lives in Wicklow with his little dog. He likes the gym, hiking, cooking, DIY, socialising, all that good stuff. Would like somebody who also lives a somewhat active lifestyle, no smokers, and would prefer somebody who didn't have kids. Sheila is a 29-year-old journalist. I actually don't know what height Sheila is, but early 5 foot, I'm going to say. She also lives in Wicklow, big into the gym, so much so that she has been crowned Ireland's strongest woman under 64 kg twice. She also likes theatre and comedy shows. Now that I am in a relationship, I can't really provide entertainment from going on dates. So now it's other people's fucking dates that I'm getting them to talk about. So this week, Sheila, how did it go?
I think when you contacted me and said you two have a lot of things in common, both really nice, you'll get on. You're dead right. Like he was so nice. I don't think you could actually. I would say there's not a bad bone in that man's body. Like
Yeah.
he is just so lovely. We met. We had a really nice time. I'd say we stayed for about kind of 2 hours. Loads to chat about because you had mentioned to me beforehand about how he was into the gym and that was quite well established in his life. Had kind of his shit sorted out basically. All stuff that I really like. So I was really interested in what in everything to do with that. And he the same, like asked great questions. When someone is just interested in getting to know you. So yeah, so nice.
You went to a pub in Bray, but you were just on the non-alcoholics.
Yeah, we went to Bray, and so I don't drink. So I'm always on that. And I often am nervous about meeting people so in case they're like, oh, she's a dry shite, or this is going to be difficult or boring or whatever. And I'm also aware that then am I going to have to make an extra effort to seem like I'm a really good fun.
Good crack.
Almost prove myself. But I didn't even feel like I had to do that. Like he literally couldn't have cared less that I wasn't having a drink, and I think he drove as well. So
yeah.
So none of that mattered.
But like a good 2 hour date. Like, and I actually think, what time did you meet at? Do you remember? I think it was at like
about 7:30.
Was it? Okay, right, yeah. I was actually out that night for dinner. I kept checking my phone and neither of you got in contact. And I was like, Jesus, it's still going on. It must be going all right. And at the
Yeah,
end,
we
then,
went about 9:30. Yeah.
and tell me what happened at the end. Then, like, how did you say goodbye? What was fill me
I
in?
think he'd probably laugh at this as well, because afterwards we were like, why was it so weird? We left and I was like, okay, bye then. Like, walked me to my car, obviously. It's such a gentleman, so mannerly and polite. And I was like, okay, that was fun. I didn't know if there was a romantic thing, but I was like, I had a good enough time that I would absolutely meet him again. So that's how I judge it off, because as I got older, I was like, this stupid spark, I don't actually buy that shite as much, because I'm like, sometimes that can just be lust and whatever. So I'm always like, if I had a really good conversation and a good time, I would see them again and then decide if there's romance there. So and I was like, oh, so I don't have your number or something. And I tried to be like, should we switch numbers? But I didn't say that. And then he went, oh, so we can go back and ask your name. And then I was like, okay. And I took that as, I was like, okay, well, he must have want my number.
Just got shot down.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, bye then. And then I left. And afterwards, I think he did ask for my number from you, or some way. Anyway, ended up texting me. And then I was like, oh, did he actually? So he did want to talk to me again. But then I think I voiced noted that, and I was like, is there a reason why? He was like, I don't know why I did that. He's like, that was just a weird. We were just both being awkward at the end.
Miscommunication. He voice noted me after, and he had nothing but good things to say about you, and that it was a good date. And then he was like, yeah, I don't know really how she felt about it. And I was like, so then I was talking to you, and you said, oh yeah, I kind of said that we didn't have each other's number. Will we do it? And then he was like, oh, we'll leave it up to ourselves to sort out. So I got back onto him, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you mean you had a great time and you don't know how she felt? And then he was like, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I know. What did he say? He was like, I thought maybe, that was just kind of something for her to say because it was at the end of the date. And that she was at the car, and how would we say goodbye now? And she probably just felt the need to say it. And I was like, no, she thought it would be good to exchange numbers, and then you shot her down.
Yes. And I was like, he's so polite. Even in that, I was like, you know what, that's fine. But look, then we chatted over and back after that, and we thought, he said, would you like to meet again? I said yes. And then as the texting didn't really continue, and we didn't get into a flow of conversation, and I probably left it too many days. And then after that, I thought to myself, if I'm really mad into someone, I probably am a bit more attentive on my phone. Not always great on my phone, but I'm probably more attentive. So I did message and say, look, maybe the fact that I'm not messaging quick enough and arranging this quick enough is an indication that I did maybe not see the romantic side of it. So and he was so nice about that as well, which that's why I'm saying this is somebody I would love. And I never would do this to somebody. I'd never be like, let's be friends. Like, we went on a date. No, you'll go on a date to meet someone. But it is someone I would have so much time for. And I'm like, I wish almost at times with people like that there was the romantic side of it. There just wasn't. But even since then, like he was like, no problem. Like, all good. Really, he's also really mature and not a child, so he was like, yeah, totally fine. And so we've had it the odd time now on Instagram, if he puts up something cool about the house, or if I put something up, we might over and back or say hello or something like that. But it didn't develop into anything. But in terms of you thinking we would get on, we did.
Okay. Well, no, I'm glad, and it's nice that you went on a nice date. But that seems to be what a massive trend here now with the people that I've set up are just nice people who had good things to talk about and things in common, and they had a nice time and they thought they were lovely people, but then nothing developed, and I'm like, fuck sake. Well, at least you got out and had a nice evening, but that's the height of it. I don't
think it's a reflection on because romance and being like, would I kiss them or do I just like talking to them? It's really, you can never predict that. Two people, as you said, we had so much to talk about. I'd say even now, if we met again, we would have loads to talk about. So that's not an incorrect thing. And it wasn't even, I absolutely thought he was good looking. It was nothing to do with that. It's just that thing in you. It's like, am I being the way I would be if I fancied someone? I probably wasn't. And he could have been the same too. So, but yeah, we were, as you say, really, really a nice person. Yeah, had a great time.
It's a pity, but sure, look, how is the love life now? Any updates there?
I won't tell the whole story because it's kind of long, but I am going to Vietnam in 10 days following a man for a holiday. So there you go.
Stop it. When did you meet the man?
I knew he was leaving Ireland to go to Vietnam when we met. Sorry, no, I do have to tell you about this story. It's actually class.
Yeah, go on.
You can decide whether or not to keep this in. It's a good story. A year ago, I went to the airport with my sister, or went to Barcelona with my sister to pick a house because she was moving over there. And on the way back, there was an all-boys school sitting in the departures, and there was big fuss because one of them had lost their passport. Next thing, anyway, there was a teacher with them, and I was like, he is a ride. And my sister said, we'll find out his surname because they'll say his name. And so we got his surname. And then afterwards, the guy who'd lost the passport came in with his other teacher, and the other teacher lives in my estate or grew up with me. So I contacted his sister afterwards and said, find out if the redheaded teacher who's a ride is single. And she was like, on it. So this is a year ago. He wasn't single. Oh. And then, so I never thought about it again. Never thought about this man in my life. And then back in April or May, I was on Tinder. I wrote to someone, hey, how are you? Really boring message, actually. And he wrote back, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we not bump into each other in an airport in Barcelona a year ago? And I went back onto the page and I went, oh my God. It's hot teacher. And then he said, I should tell you, he goes, my friend's sister sent me the message you sent her. He was like, and sent me your Instagram, but obviously I wasn't single. He said, but I do know who you are. And then we started talking. He asked me out. I was like, this is a bad idea, but I waited a year for this date. So we went on a date, got on so well, of course, and then dated for the next few weeks that he was still in Ireland. And it turns out that back in January, he had seen me on Tinder, but I didn't match with him. But he knew it was me and he didn't write to me. And then there was also another time where I said to him, what gym are you in? Because he was going to the gym and he says, oh, I Fly Fit in Tala. And I was like, oh, I went there a few times. And he was like, I know. I saw you. I just couldn't talk to you. And I was like, right. So all these times we could have bumped into each other, we didn't. And then we met and he was leaving. And I thought, okay, that'll probably end when he goes. It didn't. We literally talk every single day. He's only gone for a year or two and I'm going to go visit him now.
When did you leave the country?
June.
And you're going over in 10 days for how long?
For 2 weeks.
Oh, how romantic. Sure, who knows? You might pack up your life and move over there with him.
Unfortunately for me, I really like my job. So
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
If I did, you know what? If I didn't love my job, because people keep saying that to me, but I'm like, no, do you know what? No. But I've always said to all my friends when they meet people, I'm like, you cannot pick the right time or the right place to meet somebody. Like sometimes it just happens. And I'm like, well, let's go with this. There's no point in me dating anybody else right now when all I'm thinking about is him.
No, fair enough. Yeah. Jesus, unreal. That's like a rom-com, like a whirlwind romance type thing, isn't it?
I was like, get Netflix into this.
How did you not recognize him though? You were like, oh, hot ginger. And you were like, oh, here's another hot ginger just on
yeah,
Tinder.
he was also a teacher. It said it was a teacher on his no, because I totally, it was a year later. I wasn't thinking about this man. He's not mad though.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, please God, something good comes out of this. But he's gone for a year or 2 years. So what you're thinking, if it goes well, it'll be a bit long distance.
I suppose so. My mother goes, you've been single this long, another year won't kill you.
We have my friend Con that I set up with Sheila. And Con is in his, I'm going to say, late 30s. And he works in tech. And I suppose Sheila and Con, I didn't get a matchmaking form off either of them. I had just met both people. I knew them both and I thought that they would be a nice fit. So Con, can you give us a little bit of background?
You went with your gut.
I did. In fairness, from what Sheila said, it was a lovely date. So you just give us a quick background on kind of your dating history so far.
I've been single, I suppose, officially about 3 or 4 years. That was the last long-term relationship. There's been a few kind of month here and month there and stuff like that, but nothing serious since then. So I've been kind of on the dating apps since then.
How are you finding them? How are things generally going for you?
I think they've definitely changed. I think before, even like a year ago, you'd definitely be getting a different vibe on the dating apps. I think nowadays people aren't, I don't think, invested in them as much. They're looking for different outlets like blind dates and like, dating nights and singles nights. And I think people are more interested in trying something new.
And have you tried
So
anything like this before? Have you done blind dates, matchmaking, singles nights?
kind of. I've done a couple of blind dates and couple of setups from like friends, but also I did one with am I allowed to mention radio stations? Is that allowed, or is that kind of like
Oh yeah, go for it.
off limits? I did one with Today FM like a year ago where they did like text in if you're single and looking for, and they set up like it was, no, actually it was longer than a year ago because it was during COVID. So it was a Zoom date.
Yeah. Oh, a
And
Zoom
that was
date.
like, yeah, it was a Zoom date. Yeah. Oh, sure. I did loads of Zoom dates over during COVID. Yeah.
Did you text in? Did you give them any information about yourself, or how did they matchmake you? Or was it just a look at the draw?
Yeah, like kind of like what you were, age, your likes, dislikes, hobbies, just
Right.
the
Okay. Fair
basics.
enough.
And then they just go, okay, what are you interested in? I nearly did First Dates, the TV show. I was even set up and ready to go during that, but
What do
it
you mean
just
set up and
so
ready to go?
my mate sent me the application form for that. At the time, again, I was just doing the dating thing. Sent in the application form, got called, got set up. It just then worked out that because there's such a long period of time between registration and then the actual TV series, I ended up kind of slightly seeing someone. So I decided to pull out kind of
Handsome
last minute and went, better, I don't want to make things weird or
But you're
awkward. So I
very
said,
good like that. Like from what I know of you for the last, geez, how long do I know you? A year and 2 months, I'm going to say, because I
That's
was
fair.
at these sessions. I remember
Oh,
when we
yeah.
started.
14 months. Yeah, I'd say that too. Yeah.
But you're always very good to be like, oh yeah, this is going good. I'm going to give this a good shot and not take the piss and be talking to loads of other people still. I respect that. It's just, I suppose it does be disappointing.
You don't want to be fucking anyone over though. And if it is, I mean, it's different if it's one date or two dates here, but if you're kind of gone on a handful of dates and it's going well and you're messaging and you're not messaging anyone else, then,
Yeah.
better to see where that goes instead
So
of.
you were confident enough then about going on this date. You were, I say, it wasn't totally out of your comfort zone.
Do you know what was weird was that I wasn't nervous at all with this blind date until I arrived at the bar. And then I was shitting it. So it was like all the way up to it, I trusted you. I know you know me. So I was like, and because I didn't have any details, I didn't have any information. So I wasn't, I guess, yeah, I think you get nervous when maybe you know too much. Whereas if you're blind in the dark, I mean, you're kind of just
You're
like,
fuck
sure,
it.
look,
But
see
like,
what
I
happens.
sent you both a picture of each other about an hour beforehand, and both of you were happy and like with what you were about to meet in the pub. So that
Yeah,
was nice.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Even to the point where I was like, oh God, punching above my weight here.
Well, that's lovely. So you're that Sheila.
But no, right up to the just arriving at the bar, and then the nerves started kicking in.
Tell me everything that happened.
Well, you sent me the picture, but one picture you're kind of like you're still not sure. So you were like, she's wearing a red headband, and I was like, okay, and she's very short. So I was like, okay, look for a short red hairband. You remember that she was having trouble finding parking, so it was kind of like a little back and forth between that. So
Yeah.
that kind of made the nerves a bit more. It was kind of like, the anticipation was kind of like, she's going to come around the corner in a second now. Okay. So, yeah. So Sheila arrived in the bar. We sat down. We got a table outside. It was lovely weather, really nice weather. And the pub was hopping, so it was a nice atmosphere. And yeah, I mean, we just kind of, conversation started flowing straight away. I mean, automatically, we both kind of were like, this is gas, isn't it?
Right
Like,
away,
what the
not a bother on you.
you know, like kind of like this is mad, you know. But what's so good was that like we didn't know anything, so it was very much like
Learning.
actually that Connor, so you're from Wicklow. Oh, what do you do? What is it? You know, and you're literally starting from scratch in that way. Um, but no, it was great. Like the conversation was flowing for the guts of 2 hours, 3 hours.
Like, it was a long time because I was out for dinner and neither of you had gotten on to me. And I was like, what the fuck are they doing? So then I was like getting on to you, being like, hello, how are we getting on here?
Yeah. Well, I suppose there you go. No news is good news. But yeah, the conversation was just flowing, and yeah, it was.
And at the end, how did it all finish?
So this is this is the funny part is that so she was up early for work. We both weren't drinking. We were both driving. So we kind of kept it quite, chill. It wasn't a mad night or anything. So even though we were chatting for a good few hours, and then I walked her to her car again, just having the crack. And I was kind of got to the point where I was thinking, do I ask for the number? Do I, make the, or do I need to like report back to book first and then see if, if she wants to, like the way they do it in first dates. So would you like to see each other again? Would you like to see each other? Okay, you go first. You go, I thought it was something like that. So I stupidly didn't ask for a number, which obviously made her think, oh, he's not
Sorry,
kidding.
what happened here was, like, I understand what you mean there. But then she was like, oh, we don't have each other's number. And then you were like, oh, so we'll leave that up to herself to sort out.
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
were voice me after, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. And I only realized it literally. And I think when I voice messaged you afterwards, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I fucked that up. Like, why did, like, she said we don't have, no, yeah, Jesus. So that would have been the perfect point to go, oh yeah, okay, give us your number there. Brilliant. But no, the clown that I am was just like, I don't know whether it was a mix of nerves or if it was just,
end of the day,
it's not like I'm out of practice. Well, it's dates are, I'm used to going on, first dates. I've done the whole like, numbers game, so, but just for some reason, I don't know, maybe it was just more on the line or something. I don't know, but it just, I made a hames of it at that point. But anyway,
I sent her number on to you after that.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened then?
And it was grand. We messaged, and I actually had to explain to her, I was like, I'm really sorry I didn't get your number then. I don't know why I panicked. So I did explain it to her afterwards, being like, I was a cabbage. I don't know why I didn't do that. So, the understanding. And then it kind of just got to a point where we were messaging kind of back and forth for a bit. We tried to organize something, but then she was busy and then I was busy. And then it just kind of filtered out. I don't think she was too keen in kind of going again, which I was fine with. I just was like, okay, that's grand. I don't know whether it was because I put a bad taste in her mouth by not asking for the number straight up.
Sheila is so bad on her phone anyway. Like I have to double, triple text her a lot of the time as well. And the conversations can fizzle out very easy. Like I know if I was a man, like I would have been like, oh Jesus, it's just so much effort. But she knows that herself. She always says she's really bad on the phone.
Yeah, but I think she said to herself, like, if you want to meet up again, you'll kind of make it work.
If the intention was there, the one.
If the intention's there, it would have been put in the cards. But because, we were both kind of back and forth and both busy at different times, we kind of maybe took that as a sign of like, okay, look, let's leave it. It was lovely. It was such a great date and had such great crack, but it just, another date wasn't on the cards. And,
at least you had a nice time. At least it wasn't a shit show.
Oh, no, God, it was lovely. No, she was, I have to give you props for your matchmaking skills. It was like, yeah, fair play. And that was just off the cuff. That wasn't even doing a bit of research.
No, I know. Fair play to me. Maybe that's what I should do. Just like make friends with everybody and match make them that way instead of through a form.
Just go with the gut. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So tell me, we'll finish up with this. What is the update on the love life now?
So the update is still single, still looking. Might have had was seeing someone for a while there, but turned out not to work out in the end, which was a bit upsetting. But yeah,
you're back on the horse.
And back on it. I'm very I'm not gonna lie, I'm very hesitant about going back on the apps. I'm like, really? Again?
If any nice ladies are listening to this and you think that con is a bit of you, I'm gonna get in touch and I'll matchmake you if you seem like a good fit. Poor old con, like, nah, fuck the apps.
It's a mug's game. I feel like the apps are just I feel like there's good intentions, but I don't know. Let's bring back the real life.
Well, exactly. Yeah, sure. Maybe giving out singles night a go or something. But
I think that's a good call. I feel like, or I joined this running club, singles running club thing on Instagram. Can't remember what it's called. I didn't join it. I mean, I started following it, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll join one of them on their running.
Yeah, that's
club
cute. I can't run, so that was never going to be an option for me. But fair play to you.
Well, I haven't ran in a long time, so it could end badly. So just literally people helping you. No. Yeah, but you're right. Gotta keep the options open, see what else is out there.
Well, thanks, Con. And everybody watch this space because I'm going to find Con another woman who'll be back on soon. See you later.
You're very good.
Thanks a mil for listening. Tune into the next episode in 2 weeks' time for collabs, or if you have a story for the pod, get in touch, thedateinorange@gmail.com. Gurama.
Do you fancy a blind date on a tandem bike? Wicklow Sports Partnership is setting people up on cycling blind dates with free pizza afterwards in Wicklow Town. It's all part of Bike Week, running nationwide from May 10th to 18th, and there'll be loads of free bike events happening all week long. Get involved, meet someone new, and even find love on two wheels. Find out how to enter on my TikTok or Instagram, The Dating Orange.